Welcome to another episode of Rusted Rides. Today we are overhauling a Junkyard 318 for our 1969 Charger project. Let's get into it. With the motor inside the shop, it's time to tear it down and see how bad it is. When we bought this motor, we were told that the engine ran. Yeah, that might have been true 30 years ago. The same process was used on the engine block, but one of the ducts knocked over the tripod and the footage was useless.
It's currently 36 degrees out here, and we're set up at the sandblaster to see if we can clean these up. Probably going to get just covered in everything, so this is going to be an absolute blast.
We wanted to get better footage of the sandblasting, but I wasn't available, and Cam couldn't get anyone else to hold the camera on a 36-degree day while getting blasting media all over them. The gasket surfaces were all resurfaced using a sanding block and 80 grit sandpaper, which works just fine if you don't have expensive machines or equipment.
This is a valve refinishing kit. We got it at an auction for 20 bucks. So right now we're just trying to redo the valve seat, and I'm pretty sure it's the only one that's really bad. That definitely was not going to seal. I think that was the cylinder that filled with water too. Because all down in here was rusty. Does it fit in there?
Yep, fit upside down.
We're body shop. We shouldn't even be doing this. Honorable mention though, when you're cleaning up engine parts, some people are going to see me using a wire wheel, and it's going to scare them. But if you buy a light brass wire wheel, it will not eat the surface of whatever you're wet. It'll only take off rust and other contaminants you want off of there. So, you know, a brass light wire wheel, you can get away with it. See, it cleaned up, didn't eat into the surface here. These are all, like, you're gonna valve lap them. It's not gonna be too bad. This is the most important part. I didn't even care about the bottom end. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. What do? You put it on a drill? Okay, now we got it figured out, hopefully. Oh, just easy. I don't want too much taken off. See, that looks like another wild looking contraption over here.
That's a diamond tip.
We're still lube it? I have no idea. Leave in the comments if we're doing this one. Oh, we'll hear about it. Oh yeah. We're gonna hear about it. That's getting a lot better. Well, we got the really bad one cleaned up. We're just gonna touch this one here with the ridge, and yeah, we're gonna clean up the valves and reassemble them.
I'm sure we're gonna do a lot of things wrong on this build, so make sure to let us know below what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. This was the reason we didn't spend time and money on the block. We had no idea the engine had repaired crack damage. However, the rod bearings and cylinder walls were all surprisingly in good shape, so we just left it as is.
What are you doing now?
Well, the cam is hurting a little bit, and the problem is we don't have a proper cam lathe. I can't believe we're gonna show this on camera. All right.
Well, do what you're gonna do.
So I put a nail in here. We'll put the cam on just like that. And then I have a drill, and then I put the bolt in. And as you can see, now I have a cam lathe and a Scotch-Brite.
Yeah, at least nothing's getting in the motor.
No, it's cleaning up like brand new. Look at these ones here. Look how dirty they are.
My God, it's working.
Got 4 fingers, 4 cam lobes. Like I got a finger per cam lobe. And just like that, I got a new camshaft. Looking a lot better.
This was a bit different style video for us. Let us know if you liked it and if you would like to see a few more of these on the channel. And there you have it. Distributor, plugs, wires, and you've got yourself a oil pressure gauge there.
And finally, it's making oil pressure.
So you tested it, okay,
Yeah,
good.
as you can see from the amount of oil on the floor, Tim and I did not have very good luck yesterday. We were going to do the first start yesterday, but
That's
it couldn't.
true.
It wouldn't prime. It wouldn't build oil pressure, and I'm not starting it up if it won't build any. Which I still don't know what was going on with it.
We pulled the distributor, we pulled the oil pump, what do you call it, that gear in there? Just
Yeah,
like
the intermediate shaft, they're not like Chevys. There's a gear that runs off the camshaft, and then the distributor attaches to that, and then the oil pump goes onto that. I don't know. I still don't know what was. It just started magically when I was holding a tray of oil on the sump. It was pulling it up in. But
Okay. So we have oil pressure now. So now we'll try
and
for
now
the
we
first
got
fire.
IV.
Okay,
Got
yeah.
an IV.
Yeah, we're gonna give it the good old IV drip and plugs, wires, battery, oil pressure. So
Dirty old 727 trans, which I don't know. I didn't clean it up, and that starter's weak, so I don't know if I'm keeping that. But I don't know.
we should hopefully get a fire up, eh?
And remember, I'm not an engine guy. I only have basic engine knowledge, so this is, I don't know. It's just a temporary engine. Too.
If this doesn't fire for us, what's the game plan?
Magnum. Just get a second gen Dodge, and this intake that I got will fit these LA and Magnum.
Okay.
But
I think it's gonna
good.
work. We got oil pressure now. I think it's safe to say this thing will fire.
So, sure, that's good. Luke set the timing on it,
Yeah.
so
So if that's wrong, we can
good.
blame him.
except for that's not sparking now, but it might not be a good position. You look, just give that a little squeeze, make sure the float's full. You look down in there. It is squirting.
Okay.
Edelbrock,
Here we go.
keep your face back.
Fire in the hole. That was awesome. We might have, I don't know if the audio would even pick up on that. It was so loud. It probably just like overpowered the microphone.
Well, with stock manifolds, I mean, open manifold, it won't sound near as probably, it sounds good in person. On camera, manifolds always sound choppy. There is one thing
It sounded like my boat, kind of.
Do you know if that was spinning?
I didn't even look.
Or all the way forward? I'm gonna fire it up quickly again. I think that's first gear.
Okay, so we can find out whether this tranny's any good.
Yeah, just tell me if that shaft is spinning.
Okay.
Because if it spins, I'm just gonna put it in the car and see what it does.
Man, this thing, that sounds great. I can't believe it just fired like, oh, I mean, you know what? You put a lot of work into it. Of course it fired. She's spinning all right.
Fumey in here.
It's very, very fumey. Man, that is awesome. That's like, you've been working on this for a while.
Woo!
This
20,
is
20 days.
yeah,
20 days. It's our
different style video for us because
20,000 subs. Figured to do something a little different. Put a lot of effort into this
yeah,
one.
we
Did
little
not-
red line rebuilds vibe to it because that's
That was one of the biggest inspirations
Yeah.
to start the channel.
exactly. So we wanted to put that out there, and I've been busy. This was actually a perfect thing for you to be like working on while I'm babysitting. So
Yeah, very secluded, and
yeah.
you know, we didn't send the block out because it, you know, as we shown, there's some crack damage that had been
Right.
repaired.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to spend a lot of money getting it bored, new pistons or whatever. So it was just pretty much just a gasket overhaul, clean it up, and so on the next one we're gonna put it in the car.
That'll be
And
so
probably
cool.
we're gonna take it up the driveway and back. Now that was spinning.
That was spinning,
Okay.
like spinning well.
Okay. So the transmission does something.
Right on.
How does that feel? After all that work and after all that struggle with the oil pressure, how does that feel?
Well, I have not hooked a rad up to it yet.
Right.
So I gotta hook it, I might do that before it goes in the car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hook a rad, fill it with antifreeze, pressure test it, maybe run it a bit longer, but yeah, good temporary motor.
Yeah. That might be a long-term temporary motor.
It does sound pretty good.
It sounds really good. All right. Cool.
That's a wrap.
All right, so there you go. Rebuilt motor, car sitting there. That's what's next.
Inside out shirt, which I'm aware of.
Yeah.
There was profanity written on it. He didn't want the children to see it.
You know,
so
it's all would somebody please think of the children?
figured somebody would say something if they noticed, but no,
Yeah.
I know how to dress myself in the morning.
Yeah.
We're good.
We know how to rebuild a motor. Hopefully we can put a shirt on it right side in.
Whoa, rebuilt. It's overhaul.
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 Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.